So, you've been looking for a lens to film something, and you only have a limited budget, yeah? Hmm. Well, in that case, you could either go very cheap or you could go cheap. Well, that depends on your budget. Now, there is one lens that is 60 euros, and there is one lens that's more like 500 euros. Would you like to see them? Hey there people, today we are looking at two different lenses at two drastically different price points. I mean, not that drastic, they're both cheap. But the first one is the 25mm 1.8 from 7artisans, and the other one is the 25mm T 1.05 Vision from 7artisans. Now, the 25 1.8 is a 60 euro lens that you can find basically anywhere. It's super cheap, it comes in many mounts, it's super lightweight, and it's basically a photo lens. And you can find the 25mm T 1.5 not everywhere, at 500 600 euros or so, and it's much heavier, much better built, but we will get to these in a second. Now, the first thing and the most important thing for a lens is the image quality. So here's the first shot. This is not zoomed in now, but when we're comparing the apertures, we're going to be zooming in. These are shot JPEG, so it will actually not be, I mean, you will not need this much sharpness when you're shooting video. This is 26 megapixel JPEGs. You can see the sharpness increasing gradually on the edge and center as well. It's generally really sharp. It starts off sharp but like with dreamy look, and it continues all the way to T16. And now we go to the cheap lens. You can see that it's a little bit more ghosty now at 2.8. You see that it clears up. Now this clearing up, and then it continues all the way to f16 to be sharp. But it's this, it looks very, I don't know how to say, it looks more digital, more this crisp phone style. This is the second shot I have. It's with the cheap lens first. You can see that it's like really ghosting in the beginning. Now you saw that it cleared up on the edge. It continues to clear up and become sharper all the way to f16, and you can see that at f16 there's this flaring. Now with the vision lens, you can see that it starts off very dreamy and it immediately sharpens up. There's not that much vignetting. There's not that much distortion. There is this little bit of a, I don't know how to explain it, in the straight lines do not stay very straight. Especially if you have a line going across the screen, you will see that on the edges there is this little bit of distortion, and then the opposite distortion in the center. It's hard to explain. With the flares, the vision lens is insanely good. It has beautiful flares that are fitting to the cinema name that it carries. Here you can see with my phone it creates these beautiful green flares. I also use a UV filter on the lenses just to get a little bit of extra flare. This is without the UV lens, a UV filter on the lens. As you can see, not much ghosting, good performance overall. This is the cheapo lens. It has these like, it is ghosting, but it also has this nice streaks from the light source. I mean, this is not necessarily something you're looking for when you're getting a lens, but it's like, it has nice character nevertheless. For the money, I think it's totally fine. I don't think you should be shining through the lens like this anyways. But yeah, the vision lens is better. Now we're gonna move on to focus breathing. This is at f16. Both lenses are at f16, and as you can see now, we're gonna start with the cheapo lens. Look at it. Look at the cactus on the very left side. It's just moving in and out of the frame. I mean, it's not that terrible of focus breathing, but it's not necessarily good either. And the 25mm vision lens, on the other hand, has amazing performance. You can see the left cactus again. It is moving a little bit in and out. It's not perfect. It's not going to be this no breathing amazing lens, but it will be really, really good when you focus in and out. It will not be that obvious to the viewer. This is a heavy lens. It's not necessarily the lightest lens you will ever use, but it is quite well built. I'll show you the other one. This is the 35mm, this is the 25mm. Now the 25mm is a little larger. That's because it has a lot more undistorting it has to do than the 35mm. It performs amazing. It's super smooth. The only issue maybe if you get this set is that they are not the same smoothness. It's weird because you would expect they would be, but every single ring on every single one of these lenses, 35, 25, 50, they have a different torque that they require to turn. The 35 the most because the back element does not necessarily move. It doesn't move, so just the front groups are moving in and out, and there's this suction effect that it has inside. The 25 moves very smoothly. I actually am getting rid of the other 25mm lens I have because this is just superior in any way other than the weight and the size. The other 25 is really small, but it just depends on what you're doing with it. If you're just going to be taking photos with these lenses, then get the smaller one. It's cheaper, it's it's sharp enough, nobody's going to realize the difference. And it has nice character. On the other hand, the 25 Vision, it has amazing night vision capabilities. It is extremely well built, and it has a superb sharp image with minimal distortion, minimal fringing, minimal focus breathing. It's just, for the money, for 500, 600 euros, there is no manual cinema lens you can get that is better than this. Now, I have these lenses on the Fuji X-T3. Now, that is not necessarily optimal because the X-T3 that is filming me right now, it's not the perfect camera for this kind of application. But if you had a red Komodo, so you spent already 6,000 euros or more on a red Komodo, and you're trying to save some money, maybe you're looking into the anamorphic options, but you're not really sure if you like the character, this is the perfect lens. I mean, this kit is the perfect kit. At the end of this video, it really depends on what you're looking for. The 25mm lenses, both of these 25mm lenses are really good, but it's really depending on the use case you have for them. If you're looking for something really, really, really cheap, just to, survive a couple of years while you're going to save some money to get something better, the cheap 25mm f1.0 lens is great. It might even survive decades. depending on how you use it. But this lens, it's for professionals. It's not necessarily for pro professionals, but it's for prosumers, let's put it that way, that are looking to make some video content with it as well. The 270-degree focus ring, it's not necessarily for photos, and you will realize this as soon as you get your hands on it. It is made for smooth turning while doing video work. So if you're trying to shoot fast-moving subjects, this is not going to be the perfect lens for you, as you will struggle pulling focus. Like, it depends on the use case. For me, this lens is significantly better than the other cheapo lens. That's why I will get rid of it. Rid of the other lens, I mean. And I will keep this one and continue using it on my Fuji X-T3 and maybe in the future a Fuji X-H2S, who knows. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned something. I hope I could inform you a little bit on these lenses. I am thinking of making a video with for the entire set of these, the 25, 35, 50. It's worth it. It's worth it if you're doing video work. This kit is worth it. Just a spoiler ahead of the video. Yeah. Thanks for watching.